Hi guys, today I would like to talk about narcissistic rage. Everyone who is in a relationship, current or past, with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder knows that these relationships are always a ticking time bomb. You never know what might trigger the explosion. So in today's video we will try to understand the logic behind a narcissistic rage. My name is Darina and I'm doing my psychology postgrad in Australia. Let's get started. So, you think a person with the narcissistic personality disorder or anyone from the dark triad is a walking puzzle, and they are illogical, unreliable, mysterious and unpredictable. But it's only a puzzle if you don't know that they operate on entirely predictable pattern. To be precise, they follow one universal pattern. And once you understand this pattern, everything becomes clear and predictable. So what do we mean when talking about a narcissistic rage? It is an outburst of narcissistic aggression and narcissistic anger. And why does this happen periodically? There are three reasons. First, a person with narcissistic personality disorder lives in their own illusory fantasy world where they want to control everything, manage everyone, reshape people to their needs, and simultaneously expect endless gratitude as they want to be seen as the best, most significant, and most incredible. However, in reality, people are not perfect and things do not go the way that the narcissist imagines. Therefore, this discrepancy creates a constant internal conflict when their expectations just don't match the reality, and the internal conflict builds up, irritation accumulates, and internal tension grows. Eventually, this internal conflict reaches its peak and ends up in a narcissistic explosion, a rage. Aggression and anger are internal processes, but a narcissistic rage is an external reaction. The trigger for this explosion can be literally anything. A cup that you forgot to put in the dishwasher, the wrong way you answered them, literally anything. I remember the situation that recently was all over news when the ex-minister of economy of Kazakhstan took life of his beautiful young wife. I made video about it, you can watch it here. He was a full-blown psychopath, so he was on the top of the dark triad hierarchy. So yeah, the reason for his narcissistic rage was that his wife forgot to buy him a deodorant. So this demonstrates that this is not about what you did or what you did not do. It is them having this anger and aggression internally, and they always looking for ways to let it out. So even if you're gonna be numb and deaf and will be sitting quietly in a corner, they will be annoyed that you are sitting quietly in a corner and saying nothing. People like that will always find a reason to start an argument. It's all about their internal cycles. A calm period, emotional build-up, a narcissistic explosion, tension release, and back to calm. So the cycle of abuse is essentially the formula for the narcissistic abuse. By the way guys, if you're getting value of this video, please hit the like button. It will really help me as a new creator to develop this channel. The second reason for a narcissistic rage is that people with narcissistic personality disorder are extremely suspicious. Deep down, they doubt their own grandiosity and the superiority, so they constantly feel betrayed, deceived, robbed, and cheated on. They feel that everyone is against them. They feel unloved and unappreciated, and this also triggers narcissistic rage. In really severe cases, they can literally destroy you with accusations of infidelity and betrayal. And no matter what is the reality, what really matters is to keep you in constant fear and constant guilt. Interesting observation. A narcissist will always accuse the victim of what they are guilty of or capable of doing. That's how narcissistic projections work. If they cheat, they accuse you of cheating. If they lie, they will tell that you are the liar, and so on. That's why they can always be identified by their accusations. They have their own version of truth, for them more real than reality itself. Sometimes it's easier to agree with their version rather than arguing about what really happened. They cannot tolerate objections because it is them who is always right. Therefore, narcissistic outbursts can happen simply because they already have these ideas that make them angry, and after something triggers them and they cannot manage their emotions. The third reason for a narcissistic rage is that a narcissist is an eternal child in their head, aged approximately from 8 to 11 years old. They always demand attention and admiration. Grandiosity and worthlessness are the two extremes between which a narcissist constantly balances. If they don't receive regular and continuous validation of their grandiosity, they fall into worthlessness. It can also trigger an outburst of anger, aggression, and rage. They stir up emotions so they can become a center of attention, and as we know, a negative attention is also an attention. So you, by justifying yourself or trying to calm them down or screaming back, you are giving them validation of their existence and validation of their significance. Otherwise, you would not get involved, correct? We only get involved on deep emotional dialogues with ones who are important for us, who we want to have in our lives. So they are getting a new dose of negative narcissistic supply to feel alive. How does the victim feel? Like sitting on a powder keg. There will never be peace, stability, trust, or most importantly, a normal, calm and constructive dialogue. It's always frayed nerves, loss of energy up to chronic fatigue, anxiety, to panic attacks. And in the long term, psychosomatic illnesses. So, if you guys want to learn more about how your body reacts with illnesses and various conditions to being in a long-term relationship with a narcissist, please hit here to watch this video. Look after yourself and your loved ones, and I will see you in next videos.